भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, समवेत भक्ति वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane, Nirvishesha Shunyavani Ashtatam Chitane, Srila Prabhupada. Today, in order to establish the glory of Srila Prabhupada, I have selected a special verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. This verse is from the 31st chapter of the 10th canto, which is known as Gopi. And the verse is the 9th verse of the chapter. I don't know whether it's been projected. Anyway, the verse goes like Tava Kathamritam Tapto Jivanam Kobibhir Iritam Kalmashapakam Shravana Mangalam Srimadatatam
Bhubi Grinanti Je Bhuridajana. I selected this verse, as I mentioned, because this verse has a relation to Srila Prabhupada's achievements. It may sound surprising what kind of connection this verse from Gopi Geet can have with Srila Prabhupada. This verse apparently is the Gopi's song of separation. Being separated from Krishna after the Rasa dance, the Gopis were searching for Krishna. Searching, they came to the bank of Jamuna, and there they started to express the agony and anguish of their hearts. It begins with Jayoti Tethikang Janmana Braja. Krishna, ever since you have taken birth in Braja, in Vrindavan, the Vrindavan has been glorified. Ever since you have taken birth in Vrindavan, Lakshmi Devi is constantly residing here, creating the good fortune for everyone. But look what you have done to us. You have drowned us in an ocean of misfortune by not appearing in front of us. In this way, they started to express their agony due to their separation from Krishna. They were saying that everyone here is so fortunate because of you. But look what you have done to us by not appearing in front of us. You are just drowning us in an ocean of suffering, as if we are going to die, as if you are killing us. Neha king badha, badha, killing us. You'll be scandalized that those who have offered their lives to you as your unpaid maidservants, you have killed them. So this is how the gopis were expressing the agony of their hearts. Now what relationship can this have with Srila Prabhupada? And that will be the subject matter of today's class. So they're trying to set up the anyway, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. I'll just. So, okay, you all say after me. Tava, your, Katha Amritam, the nectar of words. Tapta Jivanam, life for those aggrieved in the material world. Kobibhi, by great thinkers. Iditam, described. Kalmasha apaham, that which drives away sinful reactions. Shravana Mangalam, giving spiritual benefit when heard. Srimad, filled with spiritual power. Atatam, broadcast all over the world. Bhubi, in the material world. Grinanti, chant and spread. Ye, those who. Bhurida, most beneficent. Janaha, persons. Tava kathamritam, tapto jivanam, kabibhiriritam, kalmashapaham, shravana mangalam, Srimadatam, bhubigrinanti, ye bhurida jana, tava kathamritam, tapta jivanam, kabibhiriritam, kalmashapaham, Shravana Mangalam, Srimadatam, Bhubigrinanti, ye bhurida jana, tava kathamritam, tapta jivanam, kabibhiriritam,
Kalmashapaham, Shravana Mangalam, Srimadatam.
Okay, so we just go ahead. Translation by Srila Prabhupada's sincere followers, headed by Gopi Paranadhana Prabhu. The nectar of your words, actually this translation was made by Srila Prabhupada himself. Srila Prabhupada wrote this translation of this verse in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This verse comes also in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 14. All glories to Shri. The descriptions of your activity are the life and soul of those suffering this material. These narrations, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. Please repeat after me. The nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations, transmitted by learned sages, eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. Purport: King Prataprudra recited this verse
to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during Lord Jagannath's Ratha Yatra festival. While the Lord was resting in the garden, King Prataprudra humbly entered and began massaging his legs and lotus feet. Then the king recited the 31st chapter of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the songs of the gopis. The Chaitanya Charitamrita relates that when Lord Chaitanya heard this verse beginning Tava Kathamritam, he immediately rose in ecstatic love and embraced King Prataprudra. The
It is described in detail in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 14,
from 4th to
18th verses. And in this edition, Srila Prabhupada has given extensive commentary on it. Purnima in the autumn, but it's not really autumn. Sharad, actually, in the West, there are 4 seasons: summer, spring, autumn, winter. But in India, there are 6 seasons. 2 extra seasons are Varsha or monsoon and Sharad, which comes right after monsoon and goes on till autumn. That's a very beautiful time. Bhagavatam actually describes that the monsoon washes away all the dirt with the rains. is cleaning in this way, all the water bodies become filled up. But the water there becomes muddy in monsoon. But in Sharad, the mud settles. The sky becomes completely clear, free due to the monsoon. The clouds turn into raindrops.
And the sky becomes completely clear blue sky, with some scattered clouds that floats like cotton wools in the sky. The rays of the sun, due to this purity of atmosphere, takes a golden hue. The whole atmosphere becomes not only clean in this way, but the trees become lush green. All the places become green. And at that time, cuckoo birds begin to coo and peacocks begin to dance. Bhagavatam is actually describing how, due to see, the heart of the devotee becomes purified. And in that pure heart, one becomes eligible to receive Krishna. So in this way, during the autumn, the full moon becomes so beautiful and radiant. Gopi Gita also is describing that season. Dudashayi sadhu jata sat sarasi jo daro shri mushadrisha surato nath te shulko dashika barada nignato nehaki bata. Sharadudashaya, the water bodies, all the lakes and rivers become so clean after the monsoon during the beginning of Sharad. And then the lotuses that bloom there are most exquisite. But Krishna's beautiful face is even more beautiful than that fully bloomed lotus in Sharad. So this is how they're describing Krishna's beauty, comparing with the Sharad season. So at that time, at the full moon night, Krishna played flute. And hearing Krishna's flutes, all the gopis became so attracted to Krishna by the sound of his flute that they left everything, whatever they were doing, they just dropped everything. Some were cooking, they left their pots burning in their fire. Some were attending their elders, they dropped their service to the elders. Some were taking care of their husbands, they dropped their husbands. Some were even taking care of the children, they dropped their babies, and they all ran to meet Krishna. Like in total frenzy, in madness. So, this also makes a very beautiful point in Srimad Bhagavatam. Uddhav actually mentioned, after seeing the intense love of the gopis for Krishna, he felt extremely humiliated. Uddhav actually had the pride that he was the greatest devotee. Actually in Dwarka, Uddhav is the greatest devotee. He was Krishna's constant companion, Krishna's advisor, minister, and Krishna's most intimate associate and servant. So Krishna sent Uddhav to carry a message to the gopis. Carrying a message. Please don't feel so heartbroken. Krishna is there. Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is in your heart. Try to feel that. Don't feel such separation and suffer in this way. Uddhav thought that he would come and give them that advice to the gopis. But seeing the intensity of their love for Krishna, Uddhav felt so humbled that he desired to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan in order to receive the dust from the lotus feet of the gopis. Asha maho charana renu jusham aham sham Vrindavane kimapi gulmataro shadana. Gulma, a creeper, toru, a tree, or oshadhi, a plant in Vrindavan, or a blade of grass. So in that respect, the question arose, if Uddhav wanted to get the dust from the lotus feet of the gopis, then why should he desire to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan or a creeper in Vrindavan? The answer was given that when the gopis hear the flute of Krishna, they become so intensely absorbed that they lose all their external consciousness. At that time, they do not have any concern or awareness where is the road or where is the forest. So the chances of getting the dust of Krishna, Gopi's lotus feet is more being in the middle of nowhere
than in the road, because the gopis are not going to follow the road. So, so this is the intensity that the gopis felt when they heard the sound of Krishna's. Tried to dissuade them, saying, "What you have done? You have left home in the middle of the night? You all are young girls. Go back home. What will people tell?" But the gopis replied, "Krishna, forget your mischievous arguments and reasoning. In one hand you call us like this, and now you ask us to go back home. If that is the case, then why did you call us? Why did you play your flute? That made us mad for you." Anyway, this way they had their discussions back and forth, arguments back and forth. Then finally, Krishna began to dance with them. Krishna was dancing with 16,000 gopis. They were dancing in circles. And there was one Krishna between two gopis. But all the gopis were thinking that Krishna was dancing with her. But in the center, Krishna was dancing with one gopi. So that gopi must be very, very special. So who is that gopi? Anaya radhita nunam Bhagavan Haririshara. He was dancing with one who was Anaya aradhita, who was unique, who was incomparable in her service and worship to Krishna. And that is Srimati Radharani. But when that gopi, Janno Bihaya, when that gopi left the Rasa Mandali, Krishna left all 16,000 gopis and ran after him. Who is that gopi? Srimati Radharani. So, Mandali with Srimati Radharani. These are all Krishna's pastimes to have the loving exchange with his most intimate devotees. And then at one point Krishna left Radharani also. And the gopis, while searching for Krishna, they came and found Radharani standing there alone. So Krishna left Radharani also. So they started to look for Krishna, and searching, they came onto the bank of Jamuna. And there they started to sing these songs. There are 21 verses in this glorification of Krishna through Gopi Geet. And we selected the 9th verse. Now, now let us go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after taking sannyas, went to Vrindavan, went to Jagannath Puri, some residents of Jagannath Puri, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, could not accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was told that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya could not accept that, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came hiding his identity. He didn't come as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He came as a devotee. Therefore, some of them couldn't recognize. But eventually, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya not only recognized Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but became one of the most intimate devotees. And he described Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's identity and glory in 100 verses. 100 verses glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. It begins with Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Shikhartham Ekah Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dhari Kripam Buddhirjas Tamaham Prapadde. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam, in order to teach the science of renunciation, Vairagya, which is his own devotion. Nija Bhakti Yogam, Shikhartam Ekam, in order to teach that science of Krishna consciousness, that by developing one's devotion to Krishna, one gives up all material attachments. Krishna, Purusha Purana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dhari, as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was the greatest scholar of that time. He was one of the greatest exponents of Vedanta philosophy of that time. But he, although at the beginning he didn't want to accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has now surrendered himself completely to his lotus feet. Another person who could not accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead at first is King Prataparudra, the king of Odisha of that time. An extremely powerful king. At the time, practically the whole of India was under the Muslim domination. Even South India has been conquered by the Muslims. But the only Hindu king who actually withstood the onslaughts of the Muslims was King Prataparudra. We can well imagine how powerful a king he must have been. But at the same time, he is a great devotee of Lord Jagannath. But although he was a great devotee of Lord Jagannath, he could not accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So anyway, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left on his tour of South India. And at that time, King Prataparudra heard about one incident. That when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling to South India, he came across he stopped at one village called Kurma Kshetra one night. And there he spent the night. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to travel through the day, and at night he would stop at some place in the house of some Brahmana, and the whole night he will do Ishtagoshti. He will speak to the people of that place about Krishna. And this way he used to instruct everyone, and the next morning he would continue his journey. So in that place there was a Brahmana, Vasudev. He was a great devotee of the Lord, but he was afflicted with leprosy. Due to leprosy, his flesh was melting, even bone was melting and falling. The whole body was melting in an ulcer of leprosy. So he heard in the morning that the Supreme Personality of Godhead came to their village. And upon hearing that, he just ran to meet him. But by the time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, so due to being so afflicted by coming so close to the Lord and not having the good fortune of seeing him, that he fainted. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already traveled quite a distance, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back because the Lord understands the yearning of his devotee. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's divine touch, the Brahmana's leprosy disappeared and he got a body as beautiful as that of a demigod. King Prataparudra, when he heard about that, then all his doubts about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the Supreme Personality of Godhead disappeared. He commented that many people in the past have cured the lepers. Many saintly personalities have cured the lepers. But no one ever embraced the leper. It is only the Lord, who is the Father of every living entity, can display this kind of mercy, this kind of compassion, this kind of affection. So from that time, King Prataparudra became convinced that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back, King Prataparudra wanted to see him, wanted to meet with him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, it's not the business of a sannyasi to deal with a materialistic person like a king. King Prataprudra became so desperate that he appealed to all his associates, all of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates. Please allow me, please persuade him so that he can give me his darshan. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was completely adamant. Finally, King Prataprudra said that I will give up my kingdom and I will become a sannyasi. At that time, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and others tried to convince Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please recognize him as a devotee. He is a great devotee of the Lord. So please don't reject him because he happens to be the king. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became so upset. He said, if you keep on persuading me, if you keep on pushing me like this, then I will leave Jagannath Puri and I will go away. You stay with your king, I will go away. So then everybody became very worried. Oh, no, we don't want you to leave. Then came the Ratha Yatra time. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of Rath Cart. In 7 groups, they were chanting, surrounding the Rath Cart. And the chariot of Lord Jagannath came to Balgandi, where the chariot stops, and Jagannath accepts offerings from the king and the queen to the beggar. Whoever offers something to Lord Jagannath at that time, Jagannath accepts. So at that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being exhausted after dancing for so long, he was resting in the garden adjacent to Balgandi. And at that time, King Prataprudra, being advised by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, appeared there. He offered his obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so tired that he was lying there with his eyes closed. King Prataprudra came and started to massage his feet. While massaging his feet, he started to recite the Gopi Gita, starting from Jayoti Te Dhikam. But when it came to the 9th verse, that is, Tava Kathamritam Tapto Jivanam Kobibhir Iritam Kalmashapaham Shravana Mangalam Srimadatam Bhuvigrinanti Ye Bhuridajana. Upon hearing that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jumped up. And the king that he would not even wanted to give his darshan, he embraced him and kept on repeatedly saying, Bhurida, Bhurida. Indeed, he is the most munificent giver. He is the most munificent personality. Saying that, he embraced King Prataprudra. Now, why should Chaitanya Mahaprabhu react like that? It is describing the glorious effect of Krishna Katha, Katha Amritam, the descriptions of Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's instructions. Like the culmination of Krishna's instructions is Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna himself is instructing. And the epitome of Krishna's descriptions of Krishna's activities is Srimad Bhagavatam. So one who distributes this Krishna Katha, Tava Kathamritam, What does this Kathamrita of Krishna do? What does this do? Tapto Jivanam. It eradicates the suffering condition of the living entities in this material nature. As we also sing, Sangsara Dava Nalalita Loka. Everyone is burning in a forest fire of material existence. And when tell them not to do that. So, okay. So, in this way, just by hearing about Krishna, one becomes purified. Becomes purified and becomes free from his suffering condition. Tava kathamritam, tapto jivanam. And these glorious activities and instructions of Krishna are broadcast by the most exalted sages. Kobibhir iritam. Who are the kavis? Adi kavaye. Brahma is considered to be the original kavi. Narad, Vyas, Sukadev Goswami. They are the ones who broadcast the glory of Krishna and instructions of Krishna. And this Krishna Katha, Krishna consciousness, brings all the good fortune to the distressed living entities of this material world. Srimad Bhagavatam. And one who distributes this Krishna consciousness all over the world is the most munificent personality. Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu jump up hearing this verse? Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicated that a personality will come who will distribute Krishna consciousness all over the world, which he himself did not do. So there lies the significance of this verse. Who has done that? Distributed Krishna consciousness all over the world. That's right.